Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on the 2012 film Compliance. Now, Compliance is meant to be a filler film from 2012 that was written and directed by Greg Sobel. That was meant to be based on the strip search phone call scam that took place in Mount Washington, Kentucky, and something similar happened in McDonald's, which would be later based on the movie. Now, the premise of the movie is maybe it's about Sandra, who is the manager of a fictional restaurant known as Chickwick, which is maybe a mix of KFC and McDonald's. And one day she does receive a phone call, someone who is identifying themselves as Officer Daniels, who claims that Becky stole something. And of course, you can tell Sandra starts to do everything that Officer Daniels asks her to do. And you can kind of tell Officer Daniels starts asking questionable things. And this is a moment you can kind of tell some people start to see the bigger picture. Like Kevin, who is meant to be Becky's friend and kind of the same age as her. And you kind of also got Harold, who is openly against it. And you can kind of tell Sandra starts to do these questionable things and believes it's just part of protocol. And of course, there is more truths about Officer Daniels than there actually is. And you can kind of tell at a moment Sandra does cross a line that she's not going to come back from. And I would say the movie has a bit of a message about not being gullible and don't believe something until you get the facts. And I would say that, yeah, it being based from an incident with McDonald's, and McDonald's have had similar incidents with the Monopoly, with the coffee incident with the old lady. You can kind of tell they're a company that has a bit of a bad reputation at times. And I would say what I do like about the movie is that it's not trying to be all 1 hour photo-ish. Instead, it just takes place in a fictional restaurant. And I think that's a good idea because it's more trying to show what happens beyond closed doors and what could happen when someone goes a bit too far. And I would also say what I also like about the movie as well is that you can kind of tell the cast members do a good job. You can kind of tell that Andol does a great job as Sandra. You can kind of tell Sandra does some questionable things, and you can tell she's meant to believe she's doing what's right, even though she's not. You can kind of tell Becky tries to get Sandra to believe her, and you can kind of tell that, yeah, she's not going to get a break from this, and it makes you feel bad for her. And when you kind of got Officer Daniels, you can kind of tell he shows no guilt or remorse in his actions, and there is a bit of a message about not doing phone scams and not trying to do questionable things, which I think is a good idea. And I would also say what I do like about the movie is that when you kind of got Chickwick, it's kind of clear from Sandra's management that the company has had some bad stuff, like the freezer door being left open and a lot of food getting spoiled. You can kind of tell Sandra starts to get annoyed with some of her co-workers' irresponsible behavior, but she still tries to expect the better from them. And I would say that, yeah, Compliance is definitely an okay movie. It's not going to be like 1 hour photo where you had Robin Williams as the stalker, but instead you have the character Becky being the victim, and you have Officer Daniels doing questionable things on the other end of the phone. So you can kind of tell this is more like a different break from that film, and this one being based on true events. And I think this film definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.